The sign that we were using as a bridge.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Mew dropped the sign in the river. We found it later, but there was something unnatural about
it. The sign was definitely weird. I must be confused by how the sign got there. I should remember exactly what happened with that sign. Here we go. Oh, another taxi, really? Oops. I was trying to only go a little bit, but I went a lot. Oh, they move. That's annoying. Which point was the signboard swept away? There's the end of the river. seem to stop making the move, so that's good. Oh, never mind. Spoke too soon. Where was the signboard found after it was swept away? Mention sign. Compared to the river's current, which way did the signboard float? I don't really get this one. I'm pretty sure it was with it. Fine. Against it. Still pretty sure it was with it.
It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current. We all saw Mew drop the sign and watched and the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver. It should have hit the wall on the far side of the but that's not where we found. We found it near the...
The rain's really loud right now.
The signboard should have been near the chapel.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side?
No.
She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel, then left it on the boulders near the man.
I should probably save it just in case. Well, they can hear me.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
I think they can hear the rain too. It's almost as loud as the thing is saying the TV was.
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what. All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
I don't know, but should we?
What?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't. The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is...
So, how are they connected?
Well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried.
Nope, that's not the one.
Damn it! I was wrong! I was wrong! This is it! It might have to do with a wall that only objects can pass through. The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chap, but if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through...
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall.
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
The only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble. This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense.
Huh? The hell?
How did the signboard pass through the wall downstream and end up upstream? Putting common sense aside and focusing on the flow of the river.
Downstream and upstream connect.
Yeah.
That's it! What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The ups...
What? What are you talking about?
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall too.
I got it! I know why Mew only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
The reason she only set up one wall is because the chapel and the mansion walls. One wall was already in place. Oh.
Oh no!
They're the same wall. Okay.
That's it! The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same wall.
The same wall?
It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world. The idea is, you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us.
Shh, it's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch! If both the river and wall are connected, then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world.
We need to solve the mystery of the virtual world. Hangman's Gambit, huh? Oh, I need to start with that letter. What would this word start with? R maybe? M? Oh, that's a W. Okay, so this is world. I have no idea where D is. Oh, right there. Oh, that's not a no. I don't see a P though. Here. World loops.
Yes, that's it. The virtual world is a loop.
Loop?
Just like in old games, right? Like for... when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world...
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away. It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream, and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even...
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happened.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's...
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the map loading.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yeah, it was
Yes.
Kiba's voice.
But first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, damn it!
The chapel, I guess? No?
I was wrong! Oh no!
I don't know. Maybe it starts here?
There! The map loading point was where the virtual world looped. We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world, but rather... her wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
For you to get this far! Yes!
For you to get this far? What are you, some villain pulling this?
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me. Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center, which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting. Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Kokichi talking like Monokuma.
No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
It's definitely promoting out Kaito on purpose. Well, there's no time for distractions like him. What we have to do is find the culprit who killed me. Doesn't matter how many little mysteries we have solved, if we can't find the culprit, it would be all for nothing. But I still don't know for sure who it could be. Who used Mew's own plan against her to kill her? Who killed Mew?
That'd be actually a really good part.